here on Country 93.1, live from Pints and Courts Pub and Grill. And once again, joined by Coach Steve Zerwan. My name is Matt Chapkus. Coach, homecoming week this week. And, it's finally nice. It is a homecoming in two different ways because we've been playing on the road for so long. But it's also celebrating 60 years of green and gold football, and I would assume there's some festivities going on at school this week.
Yeah, it's been quite a week there at the school, and this idea of celebrating 60 years, and a lot of alumni excited for coming back. And I guess there's a little party cooked up at the Knights of Columbus after the game, and homecoming is always a chance for people that went to school there to get together. And if they attend one game, even my college, Saginaw Valley, I always kind of make a note to go back for homecoming game. And it's just always special for alumni to have that kind of 1 week to rally around, and it's good for the kids, and not always good for coaches because of all the extra things that are going on at school that we're finding out this week. But the kids get to have a little fun and not wear their uniforms. It gets to be a little bit more of a non-traditional week, I guess. So we're going through that right now at the school.
Did Coach Holmes give you a little prepper on homecoming week and what to expect?
I was around him enough the last 10 years to kind of know that to stay focused on the game and that kind of thing. And that's not lost on me. That's definitely something that you talk to the kids about. We had a little interruption today actually. The new bishop that was recently installed, Bishop Rakowiak, he actually visited the school today. And it was almost like we had homecoming and all the things going on Monday, Tuesday, and then today the school took on a little more of a reverent tone, and we had mass with the bishop, and the bishop visited, and they had a big breakfast for him. And that's always special when somebody who's the head of your diocese comes and visits us. So that was kind of special for the kids to experience too, and it was a real nice thing for the school. And now we're back to, I guess the kids get to dress up. They call it tomorrow Yacht Day, and the kids are going to dress up in preppy clothes, and I don't know. Maybe they're gonna relive like the Judge Smails stuff in Caddyshack. I don't know what to expect tomorrow 100%. But we got pregame tomorrow, and then we'll line up and play the game on Friday.
Now, I got some quick details here for alumni that happen to be listening. There's going to be a tailgate dinner sponsored by the Green and Gold Athletic Boosters, which is open to anyone. It starts at 4:30, and then our friend John McKay and Jim Wade will come on at 5 o'clock, and we'll actually bring the speakers. So if you're out there at this event, you can listen to the kickoff show as you're warming up. They're celebrating 60 years, and I want to see if you know about this. They're reenacting the first ever touchdown in MCC history. At least that's what I found out in the newspaper. Was scored by Howie Malash from about 5 yards out on Saturday, September 1953 in a game against Ludington. And they're going to try and put him in the same spot and have him recreate it.
They were talking about this actually this summer when they had like a meeting that was with some people that were helping planning for homecoming, and they did some research and they found out that Howie Malaj did score the first touchdown at Cairn Stadium, and they're going to put him back out there, and I guess they're going to do it before the game, maybe after we go off the field. And what a nice moment, though. I mean, you have so many people there. It's such a rich history at Muskegon Catholic, and to bring anybody back, I'm sure it'd be a special moment for him. And I think they're going to bring members back from that team as well, and they're going to kind of call their name out, and any cheerleaders that were present that day. So that's all part of it. Those people are getting on a little bit in their years, and I'm sure being a Crusader was definitely a big part of their life, and to go back and be recognized, I'm sure it's a pretty special deal for them.
Now, do you ever have to just take a little bit of a step back and go, whoa, I'm a coach with 60 years of history. I was taking a look at it, 420 wins overall over those 60 years. And the team as a whole has 63 wins and 16 losses in the playoffs. It's actually almost 80% win percentage in the playoffs.
I'm 0 for 0 in the playoffs, so as of right now. But my mom was a graduate of the school. She was a graduate in '61, And, my sister went there, myself went there. I've taught there now for 10 years. So, it's just something you feel part of the fabric of the school, and you know so many of the families that were there, and it's so many of the same last names that kind of keep going through the place. So, I think the people that are involved in the Catholic community and kind of really understand that, they kind of know what a special deal we have going on over there. And, it's these days like today when you had the bishop come and you celebrate that, and it's days like homecoming when you're celebrating a seminal year like 60 years. Those just turn into really nice affairs where you can, take a chance back and kind of reflect on that. And, there's a lot of people out there that are, quite frankly, they're just proud that they went to the school, and they're proud of what the school represents. And once again, it's these kind of days like Friday night where you're going to get a chance to celebrate those things.
And on top of that, you have a football game.
Well, we do a football game. We have a football game against a very capable opponent. So, it's something that we've been getting ready for them since, I guess I started Saturday morning. So,
what do we know about Orchard View? They're coming in with a 1-4 record. Other than that, I've seen they beat winless Tri-County. Other than that, it seems like they've had a little bit of a tough road so far.
A little bit of a tough road, but we have our coaches meetings on Sunday morning, and we're watching film on them. And the comment that came up over and over again is they are much better from last year. We kind of knew the game, and I don't know what the score was last year. I know it was a lot to a little, and we were able to get on them early and stay on them the whole game. But they're better than last year. And they're a little more sound in how they line up on defense. They're a little more sound in the things they do on offense. And those are the kind of things you're looking for as a coach, where, and you compile that with they got a host of athletes over there. I mean, the one thing they're not hurting for is people that can do things. So, as a coach, I guess your worst kind of fear is that, this is the game that they put it together. And, you don't know what's going on over there at Orchard View. And you're just preparing your kids for what you see on film and what they could expect. So we know at the very least they're going to be a better team than they were last year.
What kind of offense is Coach Tanis running over there?
He's got a little mix. They tend to be a little more in the shotgun, a little more spread. They do some things in the power game that you have to be prepared for. We've seen, and they've been behind some games, so we've seen kind of our share of trick plays. And, trick plays are like anything. You tend to run them one time, and then you draw another one up. So you can't get kind of hung up on the ones that they'd run in the past, although you prepare for them. But you just, like anything, you always talk about, alignment and assignment on defense. And if you can get aligned properly to where the team comes out, and then you basically know what your assignment is in that alignment and the scheme that you're doing, you've got a chance to be successful every single time that you're on defense and you're going against their play.
And then take it on the flip side. What do you expect to see from the Cardinals?
Well, defensively, they run a base 4-3, and they tend to walk a linebacker out to usually to the field, to the wide side, and they give you two safeties. So that tells you right now they don't like to give up the big play, and they want to make you go, and they want to make you earn touchdowns, and that's the way we've kind of approached it, where getting the kids in the right frame of mind that they've got to kind of methodically move the ball down the field. And, I go back to looking at the Grant game. We've done some things to make sure, and, I don't know if we've had a turnover the last 2 games. And that's just something that as a coach, you have a game where you have so many, and you go back to that, and it really gives you a talking point that, if we're going to be successful and beat a team like Orchard View this week, and, at homecoming, you can't be fumbling the ball, you can't be giving them free plays, so, and free possessions with the ball. So we've really worked on those things, and, the last 2 weeks have been good in shoring it up, but you've got to make sure that you shore those things up every single week, not just, the week you're coming off a bad one. It's key for every single week that you limit the turnovers, and that's something that we try to talk about all the time.
Now, we're officially actually beyond the halfway point of the season after that game against Tri-Unity. Just taking a look at the first 5 games as a whole, where are you most satisfied with what your team's doing, and where do you think your team needs the most work right now?
Even the first 2 games were losses. We were in those games, and we were leading both those games at half. And, we definitely played some teams that were, we saw the Mona Shores and Muskegon game, and Mona Shores gave Muskegon a heck of a game the other night, from what I understand. I haven't gotten a chance to watch the game yet. So we know we got an okay club based on the fact that we've played pretty good against that competition, and we just kind of taken care of business as best as we can against the other teams. So, the most important thing coming away from last week was we got our third win. And I think everybody, you're playing with a goal in mind, and your goal in mind is for most teams, hopefully, is to be playing Week 10. And we're halfway there right now, and, we get another win this week, we'd be at 4, and, we would, be closer and closer to getting that 6th win, which guarantees you a spot in the playoffs and hopefully guarantees you a home game. So, everything is building towards that, and, getting that third win last week was so important because you can kind of show the kids tangibly something, you're halfway there. You're halfway there to what the goal is that we've set up for the year. And I think that was important as anything coming away from last week.
And finally, every week we bring on a student athlete during the coaches show. This week we're going to have Blake Sanford coming up, and he's got a whole contingent here. We'll have him come up in just a minute, but first, if you can just tell us a little bit about your relationship with Blake and what he means to this football team.
I think contingency is an understatement here tonight. Got a couple tables full of relatives and stuff. Blake's a player that starts for us at fullback. He plays some at linebacker, and he really, for all intents and purposes, I think I mentioned it a week or so ago, he really is one of our most versatile players. He can play fullback, he can play running back, he plays outside linebacker, he plays inside linebacker. He played free safety some for us in the Mona Shores game. Anytime somebody gets hurt, he's one of the, when you're talking to his coaches, he's one of the first names that come up. Well, can Blake do that job? Because we just kind of think that thing of him, that he has a very diverse skill set. And, came up, played for us as a sophomore. Blake really improved his speed, I thought, last year running track for Muskegon Catholic, and I think he had some success on that. He qualified for the state meet in the 100-meter dash. He was on another relay team that placed at state. So, Blake's got a lot of speed. He's also got some versatility. He's a kid that works really hard in the weight room. And, I see him in class another 90 minutes of the day, and he works, does a good job in class. He's kind of got a real nice mix of kind of having fun with his classmates, and then, but also then kind of getting to work when it's time to get to work. So, I think at the end of the day, he's a real enjoyable kid to be around because he works so hard and he's versatile, and he's got just a personality that I think, a lot of people kind of gravitate towards.
All right, so we'll have Blake Sanford coming up in 3 minutes. That is Coach Steve Zerwan. Thanks again for your time this week. Best of luck for the homecoming game against Orchard View.
All right, thank you, Matt.
We'll take a 3-minute break and be back with more here on Country 93.1.